This is the Bush Whisperer, coming at you from the beautiful Cape Town Penguin Sanctuary, Boulders Beach, southern tip of Africa, Simonstown. Come to talk to you today about creativity. There was a conversation in a group where there was somebody mentioning that they felt that their investigation of alchemy and the principles of alchemy and the practice thereof has prevented them from writing music. And I had to sit with this, contemplate this deeply, question this. And so I thought to make a video about creativity. Those of you that are working as creatives, or those of you that find creativity is a path of joy, because creativity can be one of the most profound and powerful paths that one walks. The shaman appreciates the creative impulse that comes from deep down. The shaman is totally surrendering to the creativity of the soul, to allow these deep, creative, powerful streams of consciousness to guide one through this journey of life, to guide one's hands and one's body through the dance of life, to guide the rhythms that would guide the heart, and to allow guidance to be the impulse that one follows. And when one considers what creativity is, it's sort of surrender in a way. And surrendering is not something that we do very well. I recently did a video about pride. Pride is a great obstacle towards surrendering. Creativity is when you are so absorbed in the process of surrender that you stop thinking about what it is that you're doing. And there's a little bit of a clue about what creativity is, from my perspective. Creativity is when the left hand isn't looking at what the right hand's doing, and the two hands are just busy doing for the sake of doing. There's a powerful Taoist message being shared here. The act of becoming the uncarved block. Those of you that are Taoists will appreciate this. Of allowing yourself to be. Not choosing what you are, not choosing what you say, not choosing what you do. Allowing the inner child to just flow free the way a river flows through the beautiful jungle's heart. Bringing the life and the abundance of the water so that it can get to every different part of the being we call nature. And so creativity is impulse. Impulse is what carries the stream of creativity. An impulse, there's a little bit of a message here, impulse, relates to the pulse of the heart. So creativity comes from the heart, essentially. It's when we are polarizing ourselves in perfect balance and harmony to what is happening around us. And so the creative impulse guides us from deep down. And we become polarized. When there's music playing and your impulse guides you for what music to add to that music, or what movements your body wants to do as a response to that music. Or your eyes are seeing an image of beauty and the impulse moves your hands to recreate that beauty, be it in clay, painting, charcoal, drawing, however it is one chooses to express. Or it could be thoughts that are being moved by the impulse of words to recreate the poetry of life. So the impulse of creativity is something that we tend to leave behind when we grow up. We get serious and we tell ourselves not to be childish. Well, I say to you, become like a child. Bring that inner child forth and you will see the creativity flow through you like the rain flows from the clouds. And it will just be a replenishing source, like an upward flowing river, the river of the Ganga that flows up through your head, making the whole world beautiful. For creativity always strives to bring the harmony of beauty into being. It's the impulse of the heart to polarize oneself in such a way that the world becomes beautiful. And so creativity in art is generally expressing beauty, whether it's the tonality of music or the colors of a painting, the harmonies expressed, or the flowing movements of a dance. It's about grace, and the grace of the human spirit becoming manifest through the human consciousness into the physical plane in one way or another. Another form of creativity is the scientific form of creativity, and we forget this. Being able to adjust to a situation is relating to the impulse of the heart. And so the surrender is the key to being able to be quick of mind, because we have fixed structures of thinking that we like to adhere to, belief systems that we become stuck in, ideologies and ideas. They limit us, and they cause our minds to work more slowly. They take up mental energy, mental room. They don't allow the full potential to be expressed, which is a human mechanism of consciousness. So creativity, through humility, through surrender, brings the total release of one's abilities to bear. And one's able to just experience life and express this experience as a true impulse that comes from the heart. Following the rhythm of the heart is how the shaman finds the inner sense of creativity, the creative energy that it takes to transcend the physical form and find a creative experience of sharing with the guides, so that the guides can move the shaman through humility to find the true inner impulse, which is healing, balance, and harmony. So in this way, you can see that creativity is the basis, the raw currency of spirituality, if you would. And being able to find your creativity is truly a profound thing in life. I would suggest that you all practice some form of creativity, something that appeals to you. It might be writing, might be poetry, might be painting, drawing, might be dancing, might be music, might be drumming, might even be building things. Some people find their creativity with their workshop, with tools, building new pieces of wood or fixing their home. There are a million different ways of discovering your creativity. It's one of the things I was so moved by in India. The spirit of creativity is such a big part of the Indian culture, such a big part of the Indian mindset. You'll find that in India, the people are always finding new solutions, new ways to solve issues, to solve problems. It's so incredible to watch somebody's motorbike break down on the side of the road and them take off a shoelace and fix it until they can get to the mechanic. Something we wouldn't think of in the West. Total creative impulse. I've seen a man make a key for me with nothing but a hand file and a little piece of metal. And he made a key for my motorbike. It's what he does for a living. So creativity hasn't been lost in India. I think in the West, we've become a mechanized society. And because of the corporate invasion of our lifestyles, we've sort of been forced to leave our creativity behind and become overly specialized. And this specialization leads one to become proud of one's specialized abilities. And one doesn't think it's important to be able to do the other things. Most of us can't even grow food. We don't even have a creative impulse necessary to make a seed grow. It's quite sad. It's part of human nature to be able to master one's reality. And so creativity becomes a conduit through which one can achieve this. Smash the like button. Share this video if you think it's useful. Help the algorithms work for us. Another thing I would add to the conversation of creativity is it's very important not to observe what you've created if you create something. The moment you start observing it too closely, you start wanting to judge it. You start wanting to become proud. Look what I've done. It's hard for me not to become proud when I watch my YouTube videos or when I watch my music, because I think, wow, I'm doing good work. So I try not to watch it, which is difficult because I make mistakes. And I sometimes need to observe the mistakes I make and fix them so that I don't, mislead people. Sometimes I've used the wrong words, accidentally mixed up the word etheric with astral, which can sort of give one a back-to-front perception of reality. And I'm not here to mislead people and confuse them. So the balance of being is fundamentally important. And one can find that surrender of all of these prideful impulses is really the key to finding creativity. And so that's what I'm going to leave with you. Leave your pride behind. Leave your judgment behind. Don't judge others. I think this is one of the reasons the great master said, "Judge not lest ye be judged." The moment we are judging and being judged, we are losing our creativity. Creativity doesn't judge. Creativity does. Creativity is the doer, the beer, the seer, the experiencer, and the expresser of life's force, energy, beauty, in this world of life. This is the Bush Whisperer. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. There are daily videos coming. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Find your creativity, Find your impulse and leave that pride behind. Om Namah Shivaya.